Good evening, my fellow travelers on Spaceship Earth. It is I, and I am Guy. Here we are with the final versions of this bike, almost ready to go. I've been futzing with it for a while, and now I'm thinking, well, I think we're pretty close to done. Good evening there, Brent. And I think we are pretty close to complete on this model. Great, so I'll save it and come back to it later. So I kind of still want to work on this guy, finish him up, since we actually will be seeing him shortly. How was your work travel today, Brent? That'll be our mount for made for a long day. Brad's joining us. I'll bring him into this conversation. How you doing, Brad? Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me yet. You need to set your what's-is so you can hear me.
All right.
I don't think Brad knows that he can't be heard. I don't think you can hear me at all. I can hear you. Okay. You cannot hear me.
I'm thinking you can hear me, but for some reason I can't hear you.
Right.
Okay. Well, let me check at my end, see what I'm doing wrong.
That was actually pretty cool. That worked really well. Neither one of us knows sign language. However, it worked. We got this in the end. So, got everything going on his end so that he can be heard. This is probably better. Yeah, that feels a whole lot better. I just needed to extend that nose. You hear us both. Yeah, well, I can hear him too. He just can't hear me. Or whatever cool music we have going on right now, which, not 100% sure of, but who knows? That's right. I'll keep dinking with my fighter. I think just extending that nose is all I needed to do. These definitely have to be short-range fighters. I wouldn't want to have to spend 5 hours in this 10 bucket. And especially since the team that will be using this in the first time we see this fighter are civilians, so they really wouldn't want to spend that much time in this bucket. Even for search and rescue. He's still working on his sound. Let's see whether he's getting anywhere on his sound side there. It's far more than enough floorboard in there to put your feet down there and be perfectly comfortable. Well, probably not perfectly comfortable in this particular mode, but still comfortable enough to work. It's interesting. All that fussing over this, and all I needed to do was just extend the nose out just a little bit more, and then I was fine with it. I find that particularly humorous. Oh, wait. Brad's still working on his connectivity over there. Hopefully he will connect at some point here, and then I will be able to go downstairs and get my ice water, which I did not get because I'm dumb. Before the show started, that is. Go ahead and get your water. Yeah. Figure as soon as he connects in, we'll be able to get everything we need here. There we go.
Now you can still hear me, right?
I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Finally found the cable that was disconnected.
Oh, there you go.
Talk on cables.
It's the cabling. Well, welcome to the show, Bradley. How you doing?
Doing good.
Excellent. Excellent. There's lots of coughing going on there. Is there coughing going on there too?
Yes, that is Zephan.
There's coughing going on over in this household too.
Telling you what, there's a lot going around.
Yeah. I feel like it's only a matter of time for me. I'm like, people are hacking and coughing all around me, and I'm like, well, this isn't good.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah. I'm just saying you can't get in there, George. You think you can get in there, but you really can't. George is trying to get into the Lego bucket. That's not going to happen. He thinks he can get in there. As all cats oft think they can do the thing, but they can't do the thing. It is not a given. In a minute here, I'm going to go downstairs and get water real quick because I forgot to do that before I started the show.
Yeah, what are you doing tonight?
I'm working on... Oh, yeah, you wouldn't know because you can't see it because I swapped over. Because I was doing semaphore to you.
Oh, little etch and sketch there, huh?
Yeah. got a little bit of where I'm working on my fighter. And my fighter, I'm putting the cockpit in right now on the fighter.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So
that's not clip though, is it?
I'm sorry.
That's Blender or is that clip?
Yeah, this is Blender. Yeah.
Okay, that's Blender. It's got to be Blender.
Yep. All of my models I build in Blender, and then I make them look like they're 3D or make them look like they're 2D drawn by the mapping, and then I render them in my comic, and then they just look like I drew them. But I don't actually have to draw them over and over and over when I have 62 pictures of the fighters flying around, I can just copy and paste.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so it's been one of those things I really like doing, and that I've gotten better at this as time has gone on. Naturally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really should do the half and half thing, which I'm not doing. What are you doing tonight?
Oh, well, I'm doing a lot of things, but I've got a second Astro Rocker, and wow, I spent the last week, I'd figured out, no, I've already showed you this one because we were trying to clean it up. Yeah, the bass player.
Right. You'll have to share your screen, though, because we're still looking at you.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, not that that's a bad thing necessarily, but
yeah.
It does not help us to figure out what you're doing.
Let's see. Well, I didn't want to take over your project, so that's what I was.
You're not. The whole point behind this is that we work together to get work done,
There you go.
And usually what I will do is something like this, where I'll put like me here and you up there, and then we're both working on stuff, and you can see what I'm doing, and you can put your stuff there.
See if I can shrink this over a little bit.
Did I just get it in your eye?
So, what I figured out.
Funny person. Did I get it in your eye? I don't know.
What are you doing?
Brent has already given me permission to go get my water. Isn't that nice of him?
Go grab your water.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab water. I'm just going to get ice water. And I'll be right back. You can set yourself up while I'm doing that. right. Now I have water. Have water will travel. Right. Hey, Alfie. How you doing today, Alfie? Bradley is a buddy of mine. Honest, doesn't bite. I mean, unless you're food, I guess. I guess you're not probably food, so.
Yeah, if you're steak, you're done.
It's a doomed thing at that point. Nothing we can do about it.
Just give me 5 minutes. I got to QC a video from my brother real quick. Sorry.
Okay. I'm doing fine, Alfie. I'm actually doing really good. I got good news about school, and that's really cool because I'm going back to college, but I had a problem with my degree. That my original degree that I had asleep. Okay. Is this one of those things where Alfie's mom's going to be mad that Alfie was cutting their hair by themselves? Just saying. Bald is beautiful, Alfie. Bald is beautiful. Yeah. All right, let's see what I can do here. You're kind of like Alfie thinks you're a Restream bot there, Brent. I'm just saying. There we go. Restream, the other side of Nightbot needs to be adjusted at some point in time here. I don't know if you can do that or not over there, Brent. But Nightbot keeps talking about the show being from 10 p.m. to midnight. We moved it to 9 to 11 like 6 months ago. I don't know if you have any control over his Nightbot or not. Yeah, probably not. It's worth a shot. I haven't seen Can in a while. Yep, that's what I was wondering. And Nightbot talks a lot in our show.
All right, so Guy,
Sir,
what we have.
is it a failure to communicate? Because that totally would fit right here.
Yes.
I'm glad I cracked you up too, Gen 4.
Yeah.
This is all about the fact that my friends are friends with my, house. It just,
Yep. The problem is that, he didn't get to choose us. He's just stuck with us.
Yeah.
Well, he married me, so therefore he married my community or something like that, right?
Right? You're married into the family. There's nothing you can do.
That's right.
So,
All of that to say yes, Brad.
oh yeah. You know what's funny? I still haven't figured out how to get on the comment side on your the pond. But I guess you have to do that through Facebook, not through Restream?
No, you can do it here too. Over on the right side, you should see a bunch of controls. One of them says chat.
Oops. Sorry, hold
Our
on.
right side on Restream itself.
Hold on, I gotta close this because I just opened Illustrator and it just opened everything up here.
That's all right. I'll keep hammering away at this because I'm going to have to. Obviously, this is bad. There's atmosphere in here. It needs to be not, escaping and stuff. Weird.
Okay, there we go. Put this out of the way, hopefully. If it'll let me. Doesn't want to.
Calling you names. It's calling you out.
Yeah. It's being really rude. Okay.
Right?
I guess it's because I already have two things, so what I need to do is go here.
Easy. That's what this is.
There we go.
So on the Restream, you're over there on the far right, you'll see the chat. If you click that, you can type in the bottom of that chat bar, and it'll go out on all of the different channels.
Right next to the window with the videos, or with your screen, my two screens and everything, then there's the blue pond. And I see the people's, Brent and everyone commenting in there, but I don't see a place where I can click on to get into it.
That's what I was saying. Can you see further to the right?
I wonder if that's because I've got it halfway minimized.
It
Let me
might
make
be.
it full screen. So on the far right, on the bottom,
It says chat.
there is
I can't really.
private chat.
Should be. There's private chat, but that's at the bottom.
Yeah,
That shouldn't be what we're. Yeah, see, that's private chat. That's not what we're looking
you
for.
see that.
Should be
the one in the middle. Okay, here's the one in the middle. And it shows Brent's comments, but when I clicked on it, oops.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure you have the ability to get into that stream. You
Yeah,
might.
'cause there's no, I can see it, right? I can scroll through it because I'm looking at the middle section, but I can't. There's no option for me to click and leave a comment. It's kind of weird.
Let me see.
I mean, that's okay if I can't. I just don't. I don't understand why.
Push products. I'm like, well, luckily we can push our products on the live stream. That's nice to know. But I can't seem to make it so that you can see it. That's weird. And I'm not sure what to think about that.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there should be. If you are, can you see my screen here?
Yep.
I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because like I have, of course, my version is set up with all of the things. But over here on the side, right on this bar right over here, I have a chat. Now, all of this is also controls that you shouldn't have, like the brand or changing the QR codes or things like that. Obviously, you shouldn't have that. But I was thinking you should have chat, because there's this chat overlay where you can see all of them. We can even bring them up and make them show up on screen.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go here. Oops, where did it go to share? Oh, right now it's not letting me. That's weird. Now it's not letting me do options for share screen.
Oh, it should be down.
Yeah, that's what I was. Well, I'm clicking on the three dots,
Oh,
and it's
you're already sharing. You're already sharing.
Well, how do I switch it then?
To a different screen?
Yeah.
Unshare your screen and then share a new screen.
Okay, come on. Extra camera. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is probably better for me to do it this way. Then you've got at least me down. See, once again, I think we've forgotten.
Oops. Oh, that's weird. Okay. See video. Here we go. Nope, that's output.
Yeah.
Shortcuts. Mirror camera. Shortcuts. What options? Under source, local video presentation, add camera, invite guests, open private chat. Nope. Full screen. Those are the shortcuts.
Yeah, those should be down there at the bottom. That's the shortcuts. So, yeah, you got it.
Oh, here we go. I got it. That's okay. I got to go to the remove source. Okay, that's what I did wrong. So now I think okay. Now it'll be share screen again. So we'll just do entire screen, and then I'll make this full screen. Is that showing the whole page here?
I have to add it. Hang on.
Oh. Oops. Hope that doesn't screw you up.
Nope. It's fine. There we go.
So you see, I don't.
Big screen down here at the bottom, and then you can see half of what I'm doing and stuff. So
Yeah.
And you got down there.
Yeah. See, that's the bottom. It's as far down as I can go. And you meant this, right?
Yep. Yep. And that one doesn't have. You can scroll down to that one or scroll up.
Scroll
That
up,
doesn't
right?
help.
There's
And scroll down. There's nothing at the bottom, is there?
just that. And below that, you can see I have leave here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's
So I
on the
can't
left
go any
side?
lower.
Oh, you just got your speakers and stuff like that on the control on the left side.
Yep. And I can't go left or right anymore. So I don't get it. But see, I can't go this way either, where you had something next to the pond.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured it looked different on the guest side. It's interesting you can't. I mean, that's very interesting. You can't leave anything in the chat. I wonder why.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, that doesn't seem like that's a useful thing for us. You know?
I mean, I can do video audio, so I guess I can accomplish everything else from here, but
Yeah, and you've got and the 3 dots doesn't give you anything, of course.
nope, that's all this share screen and everything.
Presentations, local video, share screen, extra camera. Huh. Well, now we've learned something. We didn't know the something, but now we have learned it.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer.
Well, let me remove that source, and then I'll put back on my well, let's see what's easier. Share screen. Oops, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the entire screen, because then what I'll do is this, and then let's see here. Oops.
There you go.
I'm gonna put that on the other side somehow. Let's see, and then the right side. I know I'm making this so difficult, but I sure am.
It's all right. I just keep working. So I got a whole spacecraft to build. So
I was gonna say, you definitely got a lot going there. Oops, I just did it after I had it set. Okay, now it's doing it right. So I gotta turn off all this extra stuff. I'm gonna go to, oh yeah, that layer. So, all right, so in Illustrator, oops, a little bigger than I wanted to go. Okay, so what I figured out that I had made a mistake on the first time from Illustrator that I imported into Clip Studio, it was super, there was lots of just messy lines and squiggly stuff. We couldn't figure out why that was there. It's because in Illustrator, I use shapes, and on a bunch of them, I had forgotten to delete the fill.
Oh,
yes.
So it was trying to fill it in. It couldn't figure out how to do it, so it just made squiggly. It sketched it.
It made a bunch of extra lines, if you will.
Yeah.
So I literally spent the last week going clear back through Illustrator and redoing every shape and clearing out all the extra lines and just doing a stroke.
Gotcha.
Then when I imported it back over here on the right into Clip Studio, it came out clean and tidy, just like my first Astro Rocker.
Nice.
Yes, definitely was the problem. So that said, when I take the Clip Studio file now, what you see, and I export it as a PNG, allegedly no background or anything, and I put it back into Illustrator, I get this. On the left here, you see the, if I click outside the shape, if I click here, somehow it's created a whole background, right? Like the whole artboard.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put something behind it, oh, that doesn't help.
Well, I already have sort of one thought going for you.
Yeah. So
one,
instead
why
of
are you
out,
coming back
right?
in as a PNG?
So wait, what was that again?
Why are you coming back in as a PNG?
Because I figured that was the cleanest way to get it back in here, because then there'd be no background or anything, which unfortunately there is one for some reason.
Well, it's Clip's exporting the whole frame, but you should export it as an SVG. Your Golf.
Okay.
Which I'm not 100 because that's the generic vector format. You're exporting it as a bitmap.
Mm-hmm. What do I have on that there? Oh, that's the one that I tried to. Okay. Oops. Let's go here. All right, let me turn off the original because I have a copy layer. Okay, so I'm just going to use this layer and I'll clear that one off because I tried to make an SVG. So let me see if it
And then something didn't work, I guess.
Yeah.
Some sense.
Let's see, in here, Astro Rocker. Clip. Oh, it technically should be this one. File. How come I can't get it to tell me what it is?
Because you don't have the extensions turned on in Windows?
Guess not. Where the heck is it?
It's a Windows control problem.
PNG. It's just calling it Clip Studio format file.
Yeah, that's .clip. That won't help you any.
Okay, then that's what I might have done is okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go back to over here in the Clip Studio and have you help me figure out how to export it properly.
That works.
Let's try that.
I'm okay with that plan. That's a fair plan right there.
Yeah, it's too popular, so I don't need that on at all. I'll use the original one. Okay, so what do I need to get this bad boy out of here? Bad girl, I guess, to be more precise.
Okay, so over here, on I don't know if you're seeing my screen.
That's true. I've got to get out of let's see.
There we go. I'll make myself the big size so that you can see me very well there. And we not do it. Oh, because we need to do this one. There we go. So looking at the full screen here, go to File, Export, Single Layer. And then we've got, what do we have? We've got BMP, JPEG, PNG, TIFF, Targa, PSB. I've never seen anybody use PSBs.
Yeah.
So that won't work like I want it to. So let's try something new here. Let's put a new thing in here and give ourselves it's got something in vector so I can see whether it's working or not. So I'll just do this real quick. There. Now let's see what we can do. So if I export single layer, I don't get an option for that. So let's see what happens if I save as. I've got clip. Yeah, I've got the same options here. All right. So now we go off and ask Mr. Google, the googly box.
Yeah, I think I tried export vectors.
Mm-hmm.
And it says it can save it as a SVG.
Yeah.
You're seeing my screen, right?
Yeah, well, I'm actually seeing the same thing, which says select a vector layer. We've got the vector layer selected. And then file. And then vector export. Where would that be? Oh, export vectors right here. Okay. Yeah, that puts it down as an SVG.
Okay.
So
make sure I'm in that.
So did you see what I was doing? So file and then export vectors.
Yep.
Right. And then when you do, it brings up the save dialog.
Okay. So
but it does say right here, inklayer.svg. Save file type as SVG. It's only got one file type.
Yeah. So I just hit save.
Let's see what you got here. Let's put you in the big chair.
All right. So I should better go back here and put. Make sure I'm in the right one. Oh, let's just move this over here so I can get it from this side. All right. So now I've got Illustrator up, and I'll go to place. And go to the right folder. Allegedly, I labeled it so I could tell exactly what it was.
Okay, before you do, right mouse click on it and see what it says under properties.
Okay. Where did it put it? Is it in there? It's not showing up.
That just means it's not importable.
So it's not going to let me do it then.
Well, it will let you do it. We have to find it. So whichever one was the last one you just did, right mouse click that one. Oh, yeah, you may have to hit import over on the other side.
Okay.
In Illustrator.
Okay, instead of
that might be part of it is that you can't just open it as an artboard. You may have to import it.
So maybe I need to go to open. I only have the option of place, or I could go to open. It actually does not give me a
an import
version. Yeah.
Leave it to Adobe to make it so you cannot actually import it. That just sounds like such an Adobe thing.
Yeah, here, all formats. All right, here, it'll let me choose formats. So it should be a .svg, right?
Right, yes.
Okay, so if I click on that, why is it sending me there? Oh, well, that's the first problem. I need to get back in the right folder. Here we go, rocker base SVG. That's hilarious. It wouldn't show up until...
There we go. You have to select it in that part, and let's see. And that should be just
there.
That layer.
Okay.
She looks like she's right to me. Ooh, look at us getting all screwed up over here. Jeez Louise. All right. Ouch. Out.
Yeah, it looks good. So allegedly, I'm going to make a copy of this. Oop, I can't see my... Gonna bring my window over here. Yikes. Oh, that doesn't help. All right, so I'll make a copy of that layer so I don't, if I screw this up. So then the idea was from here, which I probably could have done had you show me how to do this in Clip Studio. I think that was my next question. Was now I just want to make like a full copy of her outline and then create a solid fill layer. Right? So allegedly. So from this, you should be able to just make a rectangle shape. Oops, not. Right, and use Pathfinder. Doesn't even matter what color it is. Be able to select them both, and then if I do delete the top layer, let's see if it works. Nope, doesn't like that idea. Nope, that didn't work either. Funny how some of these Pathfinder techniques do. All right, let's do this. Oh, I know why it's going to screw up. That's not going to work because some of my lines aren't solid.
Yep. So you want me to show you how to do it in Clip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Come back to Clip.
Let's see here. All right.
Okay. You've got her watertight, right? Like there's no leaks.
Well, there is. Right. And that I couldn't, for some reason, I couldn't get in and
that's fine.
Those either's.
There are ways to fix that. So here, let me show you. Let me make me big. Let me take the screen here.
Yeah.
All right.
And partly because I'd like to keep these, you know, these kind of markings like that.
No, that's fine. They're actually Clip Studio understands that.
Okay.
So I'll show you how to fix it so that Clip Studio knows how to close that gap and knows not to accept it. So, but I'm going to do something real quick. I'm just going to pull up some of my artwork so that we have something real and not, you know, something stuck somewhere where like this happy face is not helpful. You know, it's not really what we want to be doing. So I'm just going to pull up something from me. I just need to find the Clip Studio versions of something. I'm going to pull it in. There we go. Okay, so we have, where's the main on this? So here's the main artwork right here. When you do what we're going to do is first we're going to select the outside sections of her, this part. So you use the magic wand tool, but the magic wand tool won't close those gaps. So what you do is you see right here where it says close gap. It's right above my picture, right?
Okay.
You can't use the magic wand tool on a layer that's vector. So what we're going to do is we're just going to duplicate the layer and stick it underneath it and then rasterize it just so that you can do stuff, right?
Okay.
So we'll do that. You apply to connected pixels. That means that it's only checking the things that are inside the thing. And then we'll turn that close gap up all the way, right? So this will put the width of the gaps. You can make them up to like 20 pixels.
Okay.
Further, if you click this, you could probably make it 60 pixels or whatever.
Yeah.
And what that'll do is when you hit the select button over here, it'll select only things that are in loop that have a gap of 60 pixels. So when you do yours, you're going to click here, but you're going to close that gap so that it won't see the holes in her feet as an opening to fill. It'll close that gap for you.
Okay.
You see what I'm doing?
Yeah, I think I'm following it. Okay, so
because I mean, if you look here on her hair, see, it should have gone in here, but this is a gap that it has decided is too big. Same here, right? So it's not going inside these gaps, right? If I were to turn off close gap like this, and then do that again, it would go inside all the hair right and through here.
Okay.
In fact, it seems to have found a hole somewhere else. I don't even know where it found the hole. It found the hole somewhere else because it's inside her hair all the way around. So I don't know where.
Oh yeah.
I can see the little ants are crawling right inside her hair. It just sounds weird to say.
Eating her alive.
Right? Ants are eating her alive.
Okay, I used to have nightmares about that, and both of you just stopped.
Right?
Okay, we're working here now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is make a duplicate layer.
Yeah, because you can't do it on a vector layer.
Okay, so
And all you're doing is just putting a background behind it, right? You just want it to be solid white behind her, or solid blue, or solid black, or whatever. It doesn't really matter.
well, yes and no.
The
So
goal
what
is
I
to not have this effect, right? So you can see how we can see through all of this artwork. You want, what you want is the ability to make it some solid color underneath there.
Yeah, so what I actually do is I'll make 3 layers. You have your outline, then underneath that I have a solid fill layer, but I take my dots and Pathfinder, and I, in a sense, stamp the holes in that layer so you can see through the holes. Then I put another solid fill layer underneath that, and then I can change the opacity layer of that layer to determine how much you see the fill holes.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that they're there, but they're not like in the painting over my. Well, you can't tell from there.
It's all good.
Yeah. So technically, I'm making 2 layers underneath, and then one of them I'll cut through it partly.
Mm-hmm. I get
Like
it.
a pass-through layer. So, okay, so I made the copy, which. Oh, and then I need to rasterize it. So on the copy, let me turn off the top layer. I click on that one and I click rasterize, correct?
Yeah. So just pick one of the 2 layers, rasterize. Hey there, Jackson. How you doing?
All right, I'm just going to I'm going to label it raster.
You're totally not causing a lot of trouble here. Why would you say that? I mean, really, honestly, we never, ever cause trouble.
All right, let's see if I can catch back. Okay, so I rasterize the layer. Then I'm going to go to the selection tool.
Right. So you go get the magic wand. And when you click the magic, I'm just screwing around over here. So when you click the magic wand, you want to make sure it's apply to connected pixels only is selected. So this one right here needs to be clicked. And you want to make sure that you've closed the gap, and then you're going to want to close it quite a bit.
Now it's thinking big time. I may not have selected.
You may not have pushed the right thing.
Oh, I didn't click on apply to connected pixels only.
Okay.
I need to do that, right?
Yep.
Okay, so select applied. Do I need to start over, or is it gonna?
No, just Control D will deselect.
All right.
So if you hit Control and D, it'll turn off the ants.
Okay.
And then just click outside of the shape.
Yep.
And then make sure you have applied connected pixels and make sure you have the closed gap. Cool thing about Clip Studio is it already knows you're doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's
I've got 2 bars selected on the closed gap. Should I max it out?
I don't know. I would mess around and see what happens. I mean, you can always click it and then Control D, and then move it up one, then click it and then Control D.
Right.
You can keep deselecting it all you want.
Let's see what it does. It's doing a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Let's see, what do I have here? Oh, best I can do. Well, no, it didn't. Okay, so it just inside the lines here on our helmet.
So up it until that stops doing that.
Okay, so deselect. Guess I'll just turn it up all the way. Let's try that.
That's wild.
Okay, sweet, that worked. And
As long as it's got everything, then you can go through in the background. And what you do then, after you've selected everything and it appropriately selected the correct area, then you can either do one of two things. If you need to make a zone exit, like see, like for example, right here, the ants have not gotten in here, right?
Yep.
So I can hit with when I turn on the magic wand tool, I can hit Alt and I get a subtraction. Yeah, that's subtracted at all. Hang on, don't do that. Because we're reversed. Dang it. Now, I've reversed it. Control Shift I. I can add with Shift to this zone right here. Except it's adding everything because why? Oh, the gap's turned all the way up. Dang it. I may have to redo this. Oh, I know why. Because I already did this copy here. There we go.
Art Crumbs has got it figured out.
Wrong. I do. Yeah, thanks. Wait. We have to do the thing. This is important. Because I'm on the wrong layer.
Oh.
They know. They understand. Been down this road. All right. Yes, there we go. That worked just fine. It's amazing how well it works when you're on the correct layer. Weird. Anyway, you can hit Shift and it will add to it or subtract to it, like this area right here and this area right there. You know, like I'm inside her hair here, just trying to kind of grab some of these open spaces that have shown up through here, and I can just hit Shift and click, and I'll add to it. Right, like down here, we get down to the bottom, and we've got to add Shift and then click, and then there we go. And then that way, I can take this guy here, right? And now whenever you're on this layer, you can see now it's cut out even the little sections through here and that, there and that there. You know, you get the idea. It's trimmed all of those out.
Sweet.
Oh, Jackson, we do that so many times, obviously, that we have not just one, no, but two. we So anyway, just saying, part of our show. It is
there's one more.
The number of times we've been on the wrong stupid layer. It doesn't help any that both Jackson and I violate like one of the primary rules that they tell you in every graphic arts school, which is label your layers.
Yeah.
Let's do. We just keep making new layers, and so we've got layer 9, and then layer 2 copy 2, and layer 2 copy 3, and
yeah,
you know, none of them are. Jackson's like, you can't make me.
So I've got this one spot here where I need to not select it. If you can see that.
Let's put you back on the main screen so we can watch what you're doing.
So right here, I need to make the selection go outside of this shape.
Well, one of the things I might highly recommend for you is you can do the whole thing and then trim out little pieces later on, because it becomes a layer. So like, for example, when we've got this here, this layer is pretty straightforward. Like, you can cut into it however you want. So even if you want some piece of this to not be done, you can always take the eraser tool, onto this layer and just go and erase out parts of it, like her ear.
Yeah. Well, I want to add this one back in. So see, it's
same thing. Grab a brush
and just paint it in.
And just paint it back in, right? Take white and then just go back in and paint it back in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I've got it selected the way I want to, and then I'm going to select inverse. Or
so
how am I going to?
Control-Shift-I. Okay. That inverts a selection. That's a Microsoft command, so it works on anything.
All right.
Control-Shift-I inverts it. So that works in both Photoshop, and it'll work also, by the way, in Illustrator. And it works here.
And then I'm just going to do a fill, right?
Right. Just fill it in.
Allegedly white. Fill by
Jackson, you've got to do the, you're not my real dad. You can't make me. This is what happens when you spend way too many years doing this job. We start getting kind of loopy.
All right. Fill. Which one do I want in here? Refer.
So, the fill?
Yeah, under. Oh, not down. Fill.
Yeah, bucket. Yep.
And just this top one, or do I want?
Yeah, refer only to editing layer.
That's okay, there you go. That looks better. Oh, now I just got to do all the.
You shouldn't have to do each individual piece. You're on the wrong layer.
No, I'm on the raster layer.
We missed a step. Z. Hit Control Z.
All right.
There we go. Now, create a new layer.
Duplicate?
Layer. Create a raster layer.
Oh, from scratch.
Mm-hmm. It's a brand new raster layer.
Which is this one. All right.
Now get the fill bucket.
And then now do the fill.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Oh.
There we go. Now you can put that layer underneath your line layer.
I didn't want to fill.
So just click the fill layer and then No, don't double fill now because we're gonna have to go back in. This is where once the fill's done at this point, then you can just hit Control and D because now it's deselect.
Oh,
You'll deselect it, and now we'll just go back and repair those little pieces that are not filled.
and then put it underneath the raster layer.
Yep. Yeah, put it underneath the raster layer.
Okay, and then this
So
is
the lines are there so you can see them.
fill layer. I labeled my layer.
Yeah, you see, you're doing better than
Okay.
Jackson and I.
Oh, and then I guess you just use a gel pen or something, huh?
Right? It's just funny because like this is a thing where I remember learning about this in 1995 or something, in Photoshop, like they're like, remember when you're using Photoshop, make sure you name your layers. Otherwise, because back then Photoshop could only have up to 10 layers, but because it was really, really early. And I remember them saying, it's very good practice to name your layer. And here I am, a quarter century later, going, "Yep, I've got copy of a copy of a copy of layer 2." That's the name of that layer. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Not uncommon for me to, back then, when I started using Photoshop. If you want to know how old I am, Jackson, when I started using Photoshop, there were no layers and there was no undo. Right? And like version 1, right? I don't have that many. I start collapsing layers after a while because I don't need them. Like I don't need all 20,000 of these layers. And then usually what it is in my brain, I've got like a certain set. Like I have my line work is always on one layer, and then what we're doing right now with Bradley is on a different layer so that I can always use it again to select if I ever need to. And then I'll have another layer that's my colors, and it's usually a dupe of the line layer. And then I'll have a background layer or 2 or 3 or 7. And then the biggest problem I've got is that I need to keep all of my text so that it's editable, so that people can look through my comic and go, "Why did you write this? This is junk. You should never have used it." Why did you do this? All you've done is ruin the story. So, 'tis the nature of the beast.
Cool. So now I should be able to just export this over to.
Well, if you do, make sure you export only that vector line layer.
Yeah, well, the fill, right?
You won't be able to export the fill. It's not you'll have to convert that back to a vector line if you want that fill to be, which you can do.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've already done the convert vector before, so you know that process.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to step out then for the night, and that definitely gets me back on the road again.
Back on the road. That's good. Yeah. I'm going to keep messing with this cockpit, which apparently is going to be my problem child for the night.
It's looking pretty good.
It is. I'm actually, the cockpit has, it's got 2 pieces on either side, so when it's up, it's got a hole through it's kind of hard to explain. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it all work, and it doesn't want to and stuff. Just your normal average every day working on your spaceships. Happens all the time.
That is a lot of detail.
Yeah, but I only have to build it once. That's the best part.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point. Hey, I'll show you what the end result looks like. I think you've seen it probably, but I'll still show it to you anyway. in case anybody is out there going, what does it look like? Because it looks pretty much, once I've gotten it that way, this is what I can do with it. So, I can, actually try to do that. There we go. So, because of the fact that it's detail, like here you can see all the landing gear is down and everything like that. But the detail level is high enough, but I still make it look like it's hand drawn.
Yeah.
It's just that it isn't.
Yeah.
It's not hand drawn at all. So
yeah, very cool.
But I designed them. They're all mine. So, it's not like I'm using anybody else's art, and as is obvious by me fussing with a stupid fighter forever. But I need some fighters for the next comic, so that they will be doing, because they're doing search and rescue. So they need to be out there looking for people. And so here I am messing with making fighters. I also made a motorcycle earlier. I don't know if I've still got that over here or not. I'll save this real quick, and then I'll open recent, because I've got this single wheeled motorcycle.
Oh, fun.
So this is for issue 3. The kickstand then comes down like this, so that it just...
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, so that it's, when you're stopped at a light or whatever, the little kickstand comes down, just sits, and your feet rest on the kickstand. So all you have to do is just let your feet down, and then they land on the ground, and the bike sits. And then as soon as you take off again, you can put your feet back up like you would in a motorcycle. But that was like, I'm making all these jokes about it because, you can tell it's a space bike because it doesn't have a back wheel. That's how you know it's a space motorcycle.
That's always a dead giveaway, huh?
Right. Now we know it's a space thing. Oh, well. It was good chatting with you, my friend. I'll let you go.
Yeah.
And then you can head on back out here, and I'll be here next time if you need me.
All right. Have a great night. Good night, everybody else.
See you later.
Thanks. Later.
Bye-bye. And I'll head back to my space thing. I am so easily entertained. There we go. Space bike. No, don't say it's fine. All right. It looked a little weird before, but now that I've stretched that nose out, it looks fine. Once I finish this cockpit. Just need to make this thing pivot correctly. Wonder what happened to Alfie. Alfie was here. They were cutting their hair, apparently to make their mom freak out. So I assumed that their mom woke up and freaked out. So, there's that. I feel like I'm aiding and abetting a little bit. Like, I'm worried about this. I'm worried about whether, like, Alfie's going to be like, you're a bad influence. I'm like, but I'm a teacher. I swear. I cut mine today. I didn't cut mine. My beloved and wonderful niece, who actually is a hairstylist, cut mine. So it's all nice and like professionally done because she knows what she's doing. So, it's important to have the people who know what they're doing do the things. But yeah, so. All right, I'm prepping for school. Because you heard the good news, right? Or yeah, isn't that awesome? It's so cool. I'm going to start as a senior. I don't have to go through all the dumb stuff. I wouldn't have really minded a lot of the dumb gen eds. Some of them were actually kind of fun, but like I didn't want to do math again. I really could not say how much I didn't. You know how much I suffer on math, just doing the math that I need to do for this comic. And of course, my comic being a space comic means that it's got an insane amount of math that it doesn't need to have in the first place. But, I am who I am, and that's the way it goes. So, but yeah, so I'm all excited because I'm like, I don't have to do math. And that also kicked me out of English, which would have been stupid as I was an English teacher. That just would have made me feel dumb. Especially if I'd gotten like a C or something dumb. It's like, you're an English teacher and you got a C, huh? Shut up. It's just feel dumb at that point. So, but I'm all excited now. So I figured I'd go get my hair cut, make myself look nice, get myself ready to get back into school and get back into the swing of things and hanging out with people and, weird stuff like that. So I'm just so excited. I'm still not excited about that, like still kind of riding that high there. Okay, you know what I need to do? I need to get rid of the starship here. We just need to work on this because I'm not sure it's actually like lined up properly. Yeah, it's not even remotely lined up properly. It doesn't even know what it's doing. It doesn't know what it's doing. So yeah, anyway. Pretty pleased. Feel kind of bad that I had pseudo bad-mouthed going to Metro. Not bad-mouthed Metro per se, but I was like, I don't want to go to Metro because I wanted to go to CU, And then they were like, we got you, bro. I was like, sweet. Just saying. I'm one step closer to my master's degree. Which is one step closer to my PhD. The wind is kind of blowing in my door. My door is open because I'm a polar bear. I admit it openly. Anyway, my door is open, so kind of sitting in here going, the wind's kind of picking up back there. Hey, Bulldog, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Just got off work, huh? Yeah, I know that feeling. You just got a new mic. I just love new electronics days. anytime new electronics, you know what I mean? New machines, new toys. It's always a wonderful day. All about beautiful, like brand new things, as the Japanese call it denki. And I love new denki. New denki will always make me genki. Makes me genki denki. Okay. A joke that I think only Jackson caught. And only if Jackson was paying attention. Oh yeah, you do that. That sounds like a great idea. What would you podcast about? Anything and everything. You know what? That's the best kind of podcast channels, I believe. Genki desu ne. Yeah, kind of feeling a little done with this. Oh yeah, Tenki. Well, you know, it could be Genki Tenki, Happy Heaven. Feels like there's like some kind of. I feel kind of like there was a. You see, that's not bad. And I'm not fussy enough to worry about it, I don't think. I guess it depends. Totally depends. There we go. Cockpit in. Let's see if the cockpit does what it's supposed to do, though. Almost. Not bad. Actually, kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Who'd you meet at LA Comic Con? You're still covered in. You're in your work clothes. Philippe Smith, really? It's pretty cool. Bulldog, are you covered in flowers or are you covered in flour? Like cooking materials. Flour. That's fair. Ooh, Bulldog, we're going to make you cook us stuff. You know that, right? As soon as we find out you can cook, you're a doomed human. We'll be like, ooh, Bulldog, make us food. People are like we're such gluttons for food. Just saying. So what do you do, Bulldog? I mean, obviously you're covered in flour, so something cooking, but curious. See, now I'm all hungry. That sounds really good. Your main job is a dishwasher? That's fair. Alfie got a C in art because of watercolor. Not sure what that means necessarily. Good night. I don't know about that one, Alfie, but you know. Doubt seriously that you are bad at art. We could do watercolor practice here on the show if you want it, Alfie. I like practicing on watercolor. I'm not terribly good at it either, but I enjoy doing it, you know. Yep. I despise oils. I get in trouble with oils all the time, too. Not terribly good at those. Is that because you when you do those biscuits, do you do them in the deep fryer? And if so, do they come out really fluffy because you're dropping them quick? No? Just wondering. I've seen fried biscuits that come out of the deep fryer really fluffy because you turn the temperature up really high. Apparently cannot spell canopy. Right. Fried biscuit. Yeah, I'm from the South. They pretty much fry everything. It's kind of the nature of things. Fried Snickers, fried Twinkies, you get it. I'm really into frying stuff. Oh, Bojangles, yeah. I get that. I have no idea what you just said. There, Alfie, I'll have to try that one again. Oh yeah, don't do that. Okay, now I think I've got canopy. I can close the canopy. Good. The canopy seems to seal correctly. It's always a plus. I'll make it transparent later. We're talking about the American biscuits, not British biscuits. British biscuits are American cookies. Although I wouldn't put it beyond somebody to have deep fried a chocolate chip cookie. I'm just saying. And like I said, I've seen people deep fry Twinkies. I've seen them deep fry Snickers bars. So I'm sure someone out there has a chocolate chip biscuit that they have deep fried. I would not put it beyond anybody to do that. That just sounds like a thing. Personally, I like my heart, and so I try not to eat any more deep fried things that are already on my menu. Blueberries. That's kind of cool. That's fair. So, what's the secret to getting them fluffy? Is it just temperature you're working on? I mean, if it's not going to get you fired, obviously. Work on the dough. So you get kind of air inside it. Just kind of work the dough until some good, like just capturing some good air inside there. I'm always curious. I am now sort of in my, I wouldn't say my later years, but I'm now in the, older, not quite my 20-year-old running around phase of life. And I've noticed that as I grow older, one of the things I'm liking a lot more is cooking. No, yeah. That makes sense. And so, I'm always curious about these things because recently I've been, I didn't really like that batch of X, Y, or Z. I'm going to try something else, This time I'm going to try doing something this way or doing something that way. And I'm kind of enjoying that. I'm enjoying making food. Weird. Never would have thought that would be me if you'd asked me, say, 20 years ago, and said, hey, do you know where you would be in 20 years? You'll be enjoying cooking. I've been like, yeah, I think you have the wrong me. So you got kind of like like you've got this piece where you're just, it's perfect, right? Makes sense. I like that. I still have to work on that forward gear. But it looks like all the after pieces are, well, I've got a missing inner piece right there for this gear piece, but that's all right. Your back hurts and you're only 19. Oh, my friend. I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I feel for you, my friend. I feel for you. I really do. I spent a lot of years in martial arts and doing things like that, and now my body is catching up to me. Yeah. You have glasses because of your work? Because I have glasses because I keep reading stuff. So, there's that. Thing that's making me mad is that, like, I'm getting to the point where this zone, I'm too close to, I can't be like here. I can't, it's all blurry. And this is, I have to be kind of like here now. Yeah. I don't know what country you are in or what state if you are in this country. I can help you with the permit if you're in the US. Because that's my day job. I'm a driving instructor. For better or for worse. Although I have discovered recently that there was a Geneva Convention in the 30s and the 60s where we all got together and decided on our traffic laws. The 1930s and the 1960s, of course. Where we talked about all of our traffic laws and got them all straightened out, which is why a red light means stop in most countries. And a green light means go. We all agreed to these sort of things. We all kind of followed the same laws. It's kind of nice. It's probably the last time the entire world tried to cooperate. But it does show that we can. Oh, that's not good. That's the quickest way to get into a bad accident. Anger is not good. Anger is one of the more difficult and unpleasant things. You don't want to drive angry. Yeah. It's not a matter of cops in that instance. That's a matter of getting into an accident. And that's rough. The biggest problem is that we as drivers don't tend to watch when we go through intersections. And so drivers don't see it. Wow. What kind of mess is this? What have I gotten myself into? I'm not trying to figure out how this geometry works at all. Hey, I'm Shy. How you doing? Bulldog? Oh, I'm working on a fighter for my comic. I'm just these big engines on the back, they were higher when I built them, and so I dropped them down, and now it's ugly. It's not clean. It's not a clean. It doesn't look clean in here. So I'm just fixing that. Who made you angry there? I'm Shy. What happened? What was the story? But yeah, it's just a fighter. You can see it's got the wings and it's got 4 engines. And my comic has robots and things like that in it. So this fighter's hybrid. These are 2 legs, and the legs can fold out and it can walk on those legs if it needs to. But right now they're folded up for flight mode. But my second comic, my first comic, we introduced the MPV, and we of course introduced the hero's ship. But in the second comic, we will have some search and rescue fighters. Shark Hunter. Oh. Well, Shark Hunter isn't in this stream, so that's at least a plus. I used to get bullied as a kid too. It was not fun. I mean, not like anybody thinks bullying is fun, I guess. Being bullied, that is. We're down to our 5-minute warning, ladies and gentlemen. Less crunchy? I don't even know how to even say it. Just feeling like it's just not clean. Not right now. I've got 5 minutes left in my show. We were really into Roblox. I remember that. Is Shark Hunter on Roblox? And there's nothing wrong with being into Roblox, by the way. I absolutely think that's awesome. You didn't do that right. There you go. Bulldog plays. Yeah. I feel like this is not going to work as well as I want it to. It just doesn't look as elegant. There's going to have to be a moment where I'm like, well, I think this is all we're going to do on these engine pods. Either I'll pull them, which I guess I could do is just pull the entire thing. If I pulled all of them off, I could probably build new engine pods. Yeah. There are times where that is one of my greatest griefs in life, is that now at 50, I'm not doing so well on the playing games all night. You know what I mean? I just peter out at some point in time, and I'm like, well, but back when I was in my 20s, we played Doom all night long. And I remember the time we were playing Aliens TC, which was a Doom patch, went on top of the original Doom, but turned it into an Aliens game. And it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. So being the idiots that we were, we turned off all the lights and then closed all the curtains and played it in the absolute darkest dark that we could ever come up from. And so we'd play it and play it and play it. And then all of a sudden we realized somewhere along the line, yeah, right. I haven't played Doom in a few years either. But yeah, at some point along the line, we're like, oh man, we should take a break. And we opened the curtains and it was morning. The sun was coming up. We'd ended up playing all night long. And just haven't done that in quite a few years. Those are the days though. Doom and Descent, those are good games. Since then, I've kind of, I was into those first-person shooters when they were new on the field, and they were a lot of fun. But then, after a while, you kind of get burned out. You've got that one buddy who is just always going to kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it because he's just so good at it. And you're like, ugh. Then you're over it, And that becomes sort of a thing. Man, I miss that. And I do miss it though. I mean, I miss those games and I miss all that. It's definitely a lot of fun back in those days. Right, George? Yeah. He doesn't remember. He's 3 years old. What do you know? I mean, at least he's not a kitten anymore. As a kitten, he was such a pest. You were a pest. Yeah. Well, I'm shy. Here's a virtual hug for you. We care for you. Folks on this thread, we all care about you. So, hope you have a good time out there. I get it, though. Sometimes you just end up... So what's really interesting when we talk about these things, when we started playing games like Doom and Descent and things like that, there really wasn't much of an internet at the time. This was back in the days when we still had to hand type things into the internet to get places. You could get to a place, but you had to know its IP address. So you'd say telnet, 124.128.7.3 or something like that, and then you telnet to them and connect to their board. And so when we started playing, it was just my friends and me, and we all sat in the same room, and then we'd hardwire our PCs together, usually using those god awful whatever they were. I can't even remember what they were. But we'd hardwire them all together, and then we'd play Doom against each other. And then, as time went on, the internet evolved. We started getting kind of the World Wide Web effect, which is kind of what the current internet looks like, and then we started playing with other people. And the truth is, I didn't find that as fun, because people just, either they were all spiky and they all just really kind of wanted to just zot you, and, but nobody really kind of wanted to play cooperatively or play together or work together. And I was kind of in a phase where I wanted to work together with people. And it's kind of sad too, because Descent has been redone. I've seen it on Steam. It's called Overlord, and it has no cooperative mode. It only has PvP, and I'm like, why? I mean, it's like the world wants to go to PvP, and I'm like, I'm not really a PvPer, Now I like things like, I like to play Sims. I like to play City Skylines. Kerbal. Oh man, I love Kerbal. These are my games now, because it's less, who wants to get into PvP fights? I certainly don't, So there's nothing wrong with PvP. I'm over it, Played it for some 20 years, PvP. So now I'm one of those old people on the internet. But I'm also one of those people who can still open up a browser window and still get myself around, because the old internet's still there. It's underneath this World Wide Web, and it's still out there. You can still open up a browser window, not a browser window. You have to open up your command window. But if you open up your command window, you still can get to certain commands, and certain places are still there. It's kind of cool. Actually, I wonder if I can. There. So you can still, opening up a command prompt. Yeah. Call of Duty's cool. Wonder if there's anything still out there. You ping. Yep. The old commands still work. The internet still lives out there. The old telnet is still out there. Okay, guys, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. My cat's been in here 4 or 5 times going, why aren't you in bed? Why aren't you in bed? Why aren't you in bed? Do ping input D minus T? Oh, yeah. So I'm going to... Hey, that dog squad. Heyo. Good to see you in the thread. I'm sorry that my stream's almost done. I'm out. It's 11:06 p.m. here in Mile High City. And so it's about time for all of us old guys to head off, head to bed. It was wonderful seeing all of you guys. Thank you for being here with me. Thanks for keeping me company on the thread. Hope you'll join me again. Usually here every weeknight. So I may even be here tomorrow night. Usually I'm not here on Friday night, but it looks like it's going to snow. And so I might as well get work done. If it's going to snow, I'm not going anywhere. So might as well get my work done. Finish up my little fighter here. So I will see you guys all later. Thanks for joining me. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Good night.